Joe Frankfurter here with you. Momentarily speaking, we have a blockbuster panel today. We have the best of the best. Speaking momentarily with the legends of all time, the two greatest living men in the history of the world, perhaps the history of the universe, and I'm talking about my very good friends. Mr. Babel will be joining me in a super duper hooper discussion, and Mr. Tiny Thomas. Everybody wants Tiny Thomas, and Mr. Babel joining yours truly, JF, the Big F, on Joe Frankfurter, nostalgically yours. We're gonna have live, brought to you by Martian Paint, our Martian Paint, longtime sponsor of our program. Martian Paint, it ain't just paint. Martian Paint Paradise is opening up in New York City, a new hotel where people come in and paint your room every hour on the hour in Martian Paint Paradise Hotel in New York City, hosted by yours truly, fabulously Joe Frankfurter, and a Martian Paint. Martian Paint ain't just paint. Martian Paint fashion, designer jeans. Look for them in your circular. Everybody wants to know. There it goes. There. Slides it off. More covered with 28 paint stains, 28 different colors. Martian Paint fashion designer jeans. Everybody wants these. Are the super duper item. And momentarily we're going to be speaking with my blockbuster panel. I'm dying to meet and greet my panel. But first, a word from our sponsor, Sunken Donuts. Sunken Donuts comes highly recommended over these microphones. 55 varieties of donuts at Sunken Donuts. Fresh, stale, old, mold, hardened, and on and on and on. And once crumb buns are the crummiest in town. Jelly donuts made fresh daily from fresh jellyfish. Everyone wants old fashions left over from last year. Munchie balls. Everybody wants them for that late night party snack. And coffee. A fresh pot of coffee is made every 24 days at Sunken Donuts, our longtime sponsor. Coffee in chipped or cracked mugs. You can have coffee in lipstick-stained mugs. Everybody wants this. Special of the week, Boston cream buns. Buy a dozen, get a free photograph of Carl Yastrzemski, Mr. Boston. So everybody, our servers are kind, courteous, and all are graduates of the Berlitz Academy of English in New York. They speak English too. Pete the Audio Man Donut. This is the special at Sunken Donuts. Featuring Pete the Audio Man Donut. Eat it today, hear it tomorrow. Everybody is running down to Sunken Donuts, where the elite meet to eat Fribo Fusco. Everybody wants to know what happened to Fribo Fusco from college radio fame. Everyone's Pat Cupo, Pepe Villani and the Villanettes, Lou Bacala Carey is there, Jerry Vale, Jimmy Rozzelli, Trini Lopez, and Tiny the Teller. They're all at Sunken Donuts. Everybody's rushing down there. Your maitre d' is Joe Bev, who will personally insult you. Everybody wants to go down to Sunken Donuts. Highly recommended over these microphones. I want to say before we get to our blockbuster panel, I have a collector item here sent in from my good friend Mr. Harris in Brooklyn, the Book King. This is an old autobiography of Mickey Rooney. It's so old he was only up to his 7th wife when this book came out. Everybody wants to know about that. And I want to thank my good friend Jerry Lewis for sending me in one of his albums that never sold. Everybody wanted to know what happened. What happened to Jerry Lewis? They say more Jerry Lewis. He will be on our program momentarily, maybe someday soon. We have a tribute to Jerry Lewis, gone but not forgotten on Joe Frankfurter. Memory, nostalgically yours, Joe Frankfurter, here with my guest, Tiny Thomas, and Mr. Babel. Mr. Babel, we're going to be talking with them momentarily, but right now it's old-time movie time. I'm going to ask our panel if they enjoy these old-time movie times. Tiny, any thoughts on our old-time movie time?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Frankfurter. Maxim Theater, simply, I remember seeing the Maxim Theater in the year 1905 with the late, great Mr. Irving Kaufman. Simply marvelous.
I want to talk to Tiny later on about what he thinks about Peggy Lee. Any comments about Peggy Lee?
Peggy Lee. An excellent, very excellent ice skater, I think.
Ask Mr. Babel if he enjoys these old-time movies.
Well, Joe, I think they're really lovely.
And right now we're going to watch the Ritz Brothers Are Not Crackers. That's the name of this old movie. Mo Drabowski, Jane Wyman, Alma Gluck, Phil Foster, when he had an act. When he wasn't looking for beds, when he was actually in showbiz. This is pre-1962. When Phil Foster was Rudy Kazootie, Pegleg Bates. Bill from the old Beulah show is in this. He comes out and talks. Wingy Manone, everybody says, what happened to Wingy? The DeMarco sisters and Toots Shore. Let's go back to the movies, old-time movies, many, many, many years ago, perhaps decades, hundreds of thousands of years ago. Let's watch.
Alice Bauer tees off in the finals of the Weathervane Transcontinental Women's Open Golf Championship. The 23-year-old girl studies the lie of her ball in a trap on the Knollwood Country Club course in Westchester, New York. Finally, she blasts out and places it nicely on the green. The putt is good. She finishes tied for fifth. Her sister, 16-year-old Marlene, gets off a long drive. The more publicized of the famous golfing Bauer sisters pitches close to the cup. But on another green, she takes two to get down. Marlene's final score ties her for third. Louise Suggs pacing the field in this, the final round. In the cross-country competition, she's second to Babe Diedrichson Zaharias. Her chip lands on the edge of the green. Here's a crucial shot for her. It fails. With the gallery rooting for her, she drops the short one in. The great Babe herself, Mildred Zaharias. She's in trouble. Playing from a bad spot, she plunks the ball just behind a sand trap. Now over the trap and on the carpet. This could be the clincher, but she blows it. Still 3 strokes up on Miss Suggs, the Babe sinks the one that wins the title. Louise Suggs congratulates her conqueror. Alvin Handmacher, sponsor of the tournament, poses with both girls, and Franklin D. Roosevelt Jr. presents Mrs. Zaharias with the $5,000 first prize. A silver trophy is added to the rich Lynx tourney.
I want to say we enjoy that. Finally, old-time movie time. But right now we're going to talk with Tiny Thomas. I'm going to say, Tiny Thomas, what's old? What's old? You ask Tiny Thomas, what is old?
Well, Joe, I am very old, for example. I've been around for years, and I have a few things that I was bringing on the Uncle Floyd show at one time as my dear distant cousin, Tiny Tim. He brought some samples, too, which I'd like to show everyone. I have here, of course, my very same instrument that my cousin plays, of course, and some pictures of, oh, where is it now? Well, I have my agent here, my agent. This is my brand new agent that I'm very, very pleased to have. He's done wonders for my career. And
Tiny momentarily, the mail has been simply
oh,
staggering.
I have simply. This is my brand new record, as you can see from my past career. My career has been very flexible in the past. This record is selling thousands and thousands, almost compared to Mr. Billy Murray and Van and Skank and so many others.
I'm gonna ask Tiny if we can hear a sample of
My recording. Oh, with pleasure. As I feel my own spirit coming on at this very moment.
This has been the Joe Frankfurter program, hosted by yours truly, Joe Frankfurter. Until next time, nostalgically yours.